DJ Brand Deezy, good looking for this one, baby.
Need you niggas to calm down. I'm pulling 16s off of the waist. Stay in the palm now. Back to the future is part 6. Check my resume, nigga. They all hit like a linebacker with a hard hit. Knock a helmet off. On my mama niggas hella soft. Go to the precinct and tell it all. They ain't real at all. Got some young bulls that be with it all year round, summer, winter, fall. Boy, take it there. We can go today. A phone call off the throwaway. Make them little problems go away. How you wanna do it, scrap? All my niggas got they texts at the same time, and I ain't talking group chats. Sour got me paranoid, even in the daytime. Shorty got an Android, still give me FaceTime. Had to take some time out just to get some playtime. Trapping in the city limits once we cross that state line. I had a 12 gauge back in '06. Used to stash it at Black Crib, use it as an ad lib. Literally took it to the booth. Niggas was shook, cocked the shotty on the mic, then we put it on the hook. It's rules to the game, and I've been playing by the book. I still call my little brody stick for the jooks. Way back hitting licks with the skis in the past, dog. Cause in the future they might see us with our mask off. I don't do diss tracks, dog. My homies send shots through cars, not shots through bars. It's the last call, and I ain't talking alcohol. Shit'll get messier than sex with a ratchet bra. Never cuff a thought, fast break a hold, then I bounce, throw the alley-oop. Then I nickname a basketball's dub to the AX. Go hard or go home. I ain't even on my way yet, so this where I'ma stay at. It's over for the crib, but if the crib is in the booth, reapply my last line and you will see this what I do. Got guala in my eyesight, haters in my hindsight. Got such a clear view, I disregard the rear view. Niggas wanna test me, be careful what you ask for. Fuck around and put your whole career on fast forward. Some niggas real, some niggas act hard. Some niggas claim they ball until I jump and pin they shit up on the backboard. Your hardest, my softest, be cautious. Boy, I spit sick, back before you get nauseous. Advise you not to fuck with me, you don't gotta fuck with me. OGs, bad bitches, real niggas fuck with me. Huh? Huh? Back to the future, nigga. Part 6, nigga. Boy.
DJ Brand Deezy, good looking.
How y'all feeling out there today, man?
Feeling good. Everything good. How you?
Yeah, everything is going. Everything is coasting. I feel pretty good. Hope y'all feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting started in about 5 more minutes. But to everybody watching on all social media platforms, welcome to In God We Trust Academy podcast. We are in work session season 5 today.
I'm on my journey. Nothing can hurt me. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing can stop it. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal. I can see you from afar, enemy lurking. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah.
My heart is like a murder scene. Yellow tape around the hate, I can't let you in. Tunnel vision, try to see it like at the end. I know they hope that I win, yeah. But I'm praying on my knees so I see better days. Hope he break me out my shell, I'm trying to spread my wings. Trying to fly away, do better things. I remember all them days they told me that I can't, yeah. Ain't nobody more important me than me. She said she feeling me, but right now I'm just trying to eat. Right now I'm just focused on that chicken. My nigga hit me up, he told me Melly stand on business, yeah.
4 more minutes, guys. 4 more minutes.
My nigga hit me up, he told me Melly stand on business.
I'm on my journey. Nothing can hurt me. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing can stop it. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal. I can see you from afar, enemy lurking. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. Coming from the 407, riding on the highway to heaven.
Yo, where everybody from, man? Where y'all live tonight, man? Where everybody coming from tonight?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Indianapolis.
Texas.
Southside Houston.
96 to 98.
Kansas.
99 a little bit earlier.
Virginia.
I'm trying to come everywhere y'all at, man. If God allow it.
Jersey.
In a city near you. There's a lot of H-Town here. H-Town, I told y'all, man. Houston shows great love.
Got another VA in the building.
Back.
Hurry up.
Miami.
Houston. Miami. I ain't been to Miami yet. And that's crazy. I done been all the way in Tampa and Orlando. I ain't never been there though. Well, we got about 2 more minutes, guys, before we get started. So I'll just make an announcement. Tomorrow it's a celebration. So I hope y'all gonna pull up on me. Pull up on me. We're gonna have us a good time tomorrow, man. So look, better have your best appearances or whatever, because I want to see y'all faces. So we're gonna turn them cameras on. I want to see y'all faces. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna vibe, and we're gonna talk about some great stuff. We're gonna do some giveaways, right? And just know everything is gonna be 50% off. I think it starts 12 tonight, if I'm not mistaken. You say what? Well, I don't know when it starts, but tomorrow it will be 50% off. Just so you know that. So for sure. So and it's some things on there that's not you'll be able to tell when you try, but for the most part there are just a few things. But for the most part, everything else is pretty much half off. So when you do go on there, take your time. Take your time. But I definitely always appreciate each and every last one of you guys for always joining me, and just going to be able to have us a good time tomorrow at the same time. Make sure that we, bless people with some things and as well. And we're going to, talk about testimonies, our journey, how far we came, where we going, the mission. We just going to have a great time, listen to some good music as well, and just vibe. If that's all right with y'all, that's going to be all right with y'all?
Sound good.
Yes.
All right. Y'all miss out. Y'all going
Yes.
to miss out on something special now. That's all I'm going to say. If you miss out, you're going to miss out on something special. So, and it's free. Ain't nobody charging you nothing at the door. You see the link if you want to get in. You can come on in, or you can we're going to be on all the social media platforms. So especially if you want to hear the music real good and everything, make sure y'all follow us on YouTube, In God We Trust Academy. You can follow me on Facebook, Eric Ingram Bay, and also on Twitch, In God We Trust Academy. You can follow us there too. She said it's active now. So the sale is active now. I did not know that, but now you guys know the sale is active now. So, hey, that was up. You see how she made a boss move, didn't she? Straight up. But y'all know what tonight is. So tonight is work session night, season 5. Is y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. See, a lot of people didn't get the memo. See
Yes,
how
sir.
see how it pays off to be in that email, and you receive the email, right? Yeah, you supposed to be up in here, right? Somebody gonna say, I ain't get the link. It's still the same. We didn't change that. Did we change something, y'all?
No, you didn't.
No.
Nah, we ain't changed
Not
nothing.
at
We ain't
all.
changed nothing. All right, well, we're gonna hit this thing. Let's get this thing started, man. Work session season 5. We in season 5, man. Oh, guys, yeah. So we will have a baby here next week. So we're gonna do a few extra things for you guys. Just know that. So we're gonna have a few special classes. So y'all better keep up for the rest of the week. Hope y'all can keep up, because we're gonna hit
Let's go.
Thursday, we're gonna hit Friday, we're gonna hit Saturday. Probably do my best to hit Sunday. So we're gonna hit a day. I just have to get with you on whatever time, but we'll get it. We're gonna get in some days, some special stuff. So I will make it worth your while for sure. But let's get started, man. Uh, First and foremost, man, we'd like to welcome everybody to In God We Trust Academy Podcast Work Session Season 5 here today. And today we are going to be speaking on some very valuable information to you. As I said, let's talk business. Since that you do not understand everything when it comes to business and the base foundation when it comes to the United States as a corporation. So we're going to help inform you guys on this a little bit deeper here today and to help explain to you some things on what you need to understand, especially when it comes to taxation and other things like that you all got, everybody's dealing with right now today. So, but we give thanks to each and every last one of you for joining us. As always, it's great. We value you and your time. So I always appreciate you guys joining us, as y'all can be doing anything else, but you are right here with us right now. So appreciate you. We give thanks to the Most High just for everything that has transpired for this very moment, for us to be here right now in control of this moment right now. And this is to where we get to make a decision from this day forward, what you're going to be doing, where you're going, etc. Right? This is the power that we have right now. So we give thanks for liberation. We give thanks for liberty. We give thanks for a free state of a conscious state of mind, right? To be able to make our own decisions at our own will, right? And with that being said, that's something to be grateful, because what would life be if you did not have a free conscience? Something. We'll just be robots, right? Well, that's kind of what it is when you're not able to control your own narrative as well. But everything that you guys hear from this point on is for educational or religious purposes only. Anybody seeking any form of legal advice, please do seek a legal advisor, as it is my religious duty to speak my religious truth and experiences here with you guys today, right? So, man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. First of all, ain't God good? Ain't God good?
All the time.
All the time.
Indeed. All the time.
Ain't God good? That's all I got to say for that.
Yes, sir.
So, before we get into this thing, y'all got some testimonies out there? Y'all got some testimonies? We want to hear some. If you got some, I know it. I know Papa Demetrio had the sauce today. What you mixing? What you mixing and cooking?
What's up, Eric? Can you hear me? I'm actually laughing right now.
Yeah, we can hear you. Talk to me.
Oh man. As far as cooking, I gotta wait till I get home because the wife is cooking something and I don't even know what it is, because I just had my first appearance in traffic court tonight. So I'm sure you're gonna want to hear how that went.
Yeah, talk to us.
All right, cool. So I believe this was a definite win, because I sent okay. This was a traffic stop for failed to stop at a stop sign. So I rolled through a stop sign, and I sent them 6 or 7 motions, a couple of judicial notices, and what else? It was one other thing. So probably 8 to 10 things that I issued them. And when I showed up today, they knew exactly who I was, because I've emailed the court a few times, and the court clerk came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you're Demetrius." I said, "Yes, I am." And at first, when I walked in, they thought I was a lawyer. When I show up to court, I always dress up. I always like to, be presentable, and they thought I was a lawyer. So I showed up and I met up with the prosecutor in the back, and the guy said, he's like, "Wow, you actually, submitted a whole bunch of motions." And I said, "Yes, I did." I said, "Did you read any of them?" And he said, "Well, to be honest, I only read one of them." And I said, "Well, what happened to the rest?" I said, "If you read the rest, we wouldn't be here today." Because basically I saw your videos on the police stole my truck and everything else. So I kind of went by that.
Mm-hmm.
and I sent, pretty much motions for pretty much everything, violation of due process, constitutional rights, and financial assets and stuff like that. And the prosecutor actually told me in the back room, he said, well, a lot of those motions I'm going to, I forgot the word that he used. I'm not going to approve them. I said, what do you mean not going to approve them? I said, did you read all of them? I said, you have to read them. So
Bro, like,
so
you
I
gonna
was like,
read my documents. I wrote them. You gonna read them. So, go
yeah,
ahead, though.
yeah. So I submitted a lot of documents. I submitted a judicial notice. I entered the citation into the record. I said, you guys have to read them. I said, this is a, pretrial conference. I said, you guys got to read them. If you read them, like I said, we wouldn't be here today. So basically, he started to question me on certain things like, how long have you been doing this? And I said, look, I've been studying this for years, but, more heavily in the last 6-7 months. And I said, I know what I'm talking about. I said, we shouldn't even be here today. I was pulled over unlawfully and it. And I said, you should be able to dismiss the case. So he tried to get me to plea. And I told him I had absolutely no interest to plea. I said, you either read the motions, decide on them, and dismiss it, or we're going to trial. And so then he basically started asking me questions on other things, and I told him there was a trust involved. I said there's security agreements, UCC ones. I said if you want to still keep going, I'll gladly show up for trial, but I don't think it's going to be worth your time to hear my case because you already know what you're going to experience is going to be dismissed. So all in all, he was trying to gauge more information out of me and trying to get a plea out of me. So I denied the plea. I said, look, we're going to trial. I want the officer there. I want to question him. And a lot of the things that I mentioned on my motion for violating due process, constitutional rights, and all that good stuff, he didn't have answers for. And I said, well, you probably didn't read my motion. I said, maybe you should just read it and all the rest of them that I wrote to figure out what's going on. Because, like I said, we shouldn't be here today if you read them. So anyway, I think it's a win because he didn't know half the time what I was talking about. But I did stand by my rights, and I did, share the motions I submitted. I gave it to him, and he said, "Okay, we're gonna do a trial, and just note that when we go to trial, that no plea deal is going to be in effect." I said, "Listen, I don't care about that." I said, "We're going to trial. Bring the officer there. I'll talk to him." And that was it. So we left there, and I think it was a big success because, I know what they did. They tried to tell me that, hey, this is not a criminal court. This is a civil court. And I said, well, why does it say criminal on your court ticket? And there was no answer on that.
They'll automatically lose jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Automatically. You're gonna see,
so
and the thing is, do you know why you already won?
I have an idea, but why did I already win?
Because the main thing is, like I always tell everybody, the minute your rights are violated, you must assert your right, and you did that. You asserted it.
Right.
You asserted it at the beginning. So no matter how far this may go, the right was asserted at the very beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying? So even
Exactly.
if they
Yeah.
be some dummies and still try to say whatever in charge, and you appeal and you take it to the next level, etc., like it's your right was asserted in the very beginning. You never waived it. So that's my point. That's why I know you have already won. Everything else is just perseverance from this point on.
Gotcha. Yep. I feel it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll claim
Yeah.
that
You always
victory for
mention that
sure.
asserting your rights in the beginning. So yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate that comment. Yeah.
That's what it means for all of this. You gotta assert your rights immediately, right then. Because if you let it pass you, then it's like you didn't assert the right. See, you gotta then these are they all have limited jurisdiction, right? anytime, and that's why what I'm gonna talk about tonight is like, man, you're right on time with what you're saying. What I'm gonna talk about tonight, like, this is so powerful, and you guys are gonna want to share this. So if you're out there, you can click on social media with us right now, share. This is very, very important. And this is what I be talking about. Like, instead of, there's no way to complain when the things I'm going to show you tonight. And it lets you know that if you're complaining about it, it's like it's really for real. You don't want to do shit no way. And that's just what it is. We the people, like when you hear and everybody like, oh man, we the people got the power. But the people out here dumb as shit right now. Let's get ourselves together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't control something that you have no knowledge of. Everybody calling sovereign this and that, but you're only sovereign to that which you create and that which you control. That's the difference. And you have to understand from that point of view. Okay? So now, once you start moving from that perspective, it changes everything for you. Like, you got to understand your rights, and your rights is also your interests and forms of property. All property is private to you. And no property can be infringed upon unless it's through due process of law. That's it. You see what I'm saying? And even then, to be honest with you, it's your choice. Like, you could be like, damn, your due process of law, we're going to war. And some people actually choose that. They'll have a whole shootout. Not saying that's the smartest thing to do, people, but again, you chose your fate. That's freedom, bro.
Yep.
Regardless of whether anybody like it or not, that is actual real freedom. Because the individual felt like, hey, whatever. But the point is, due process of law is afforded to each and every last one of you. And that is something that has to be upheld at all times, even if it takes you upholding it by a militia. That's what the Constitution say.
Yeah, he didn't. The guy I mentioned the Constitution. He didn't want to hear anything I had to say about the Constitution. I said, well, you know, I couldn't even believe what I was hearing.
But
I was in a private room with just the prosecutor.
Look, when they do that, though, here's the situation. This is where they get in trouble. If he's going to go in the way of acting as a private contractor for the city or whatever, right? The minute he starts to do that, there's no immunities. So again, they put themselves at a base to be afforded for all damages against you. You can literally make claims against the individual because they are of certain powers. They're using certain positions, etc., to cause harm. Now, due process is also the right to a speedy trial. If they're going to try to infringe upon any type of right, again, they got to prove it. And then even from that point, tell them to prove where you have been contracted within the city saying that you're going to do business here. Tell them to prove that shit. Tell them to prove and ask them, who are you employed under as a contractor with an employer to do some form of driving, etc. Tell them to prove that, because all of that is, you just wait till y'all see what we're going to see tonight. Just wait.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
All right. Is there anybody else before we get started? Going once. Going twice. All righty then, man. Y'all loaded up the gun last time. Y'all shot all of them out Wednesday, didn't they? That's what's up, though. But I know there's many more to come, man. Are y'all ready, though? Y'all ready for the night?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
for
ready.
tonight?
Night ready.
Yep.
I hope y'all ready for the night. We finna find out. We about to find out. All right. Tonight, okay, we are going to talk about rebutting commercial presumptions, taxation, and operating in a private capacity under the constitutional law as well. And I think everybody got to remember one thing. United States is a what?
Corporation.
Corporation. Okay? if it's a and the 13 colonies started out as a what? Corporation. You got to ask yourself at what point, and I'm saying, if you know history, at what point did they own any land? They never did. Do everybody know how far the empire of Morocco stretched out? Do you know why they call this the hold on, how do you say it? Almagra, Al-Aqsa, I think that's it. Yeah. Almagra, Al-Aqsa, yeah. Do you know why they call that? Why they call America that?
No.
Anybody?
No, I don't.
Literally because the empire stretched to what we call the Northern America, to South America, the Americas, period. Right? Now, the reason why I say this is like you got to read the treaties and you got to read everything that led up to what today is. Who was the first little country to recognize the United States?
Morocco,
Why?
because they came here to do business. Treaty of peace of friendship. George Washington's letter.
Anytime you
Right.
hear a treaty is always through what you call based up on the international trade and business level at all times. So that puts us in the what? Way of commerce. That's a fact. Right? That is a fact. So now, the reason one reason why is because everybody was trying to get rid of Great Britain power in the first place. So the best thing to do was to literally, the same ones that's going to war. That's the reason why France even came. France didn't give a damn about the United States. They cared about destroying Great Britain and to separate their power, because that's the point. So when you look back at old ancient maps and stuff like that, you got to realize that where they say the forts was, etc., that's Great Britain. Some of it was considered to be France, etc. But there was also territories of Morocco here. There was also territories of Spain here. Y'all do know that, right? You got to understand.
Yeah.
You got to understand you got to understand whose map you looking at. Okay? So now you can understand that there's different countries that's involved here on this land with different forms of territories. Got that? Which has turned into what they call today, what? The embassy. Got that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now you know. So now, when you look at the United States being a commercial nation, it starts off as a commercial nation. It speaks on it in the treaty to recognize United States as a commercial nation. You got that? So if it starts off like that, then that's just what it is, even still to this day. Do you got that? Which is the reason why that particular treaty is the treaty that they forever hold on to. Why? Because it is their mere existence. Do you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, so at one point of time, when you talk about California and when you talk about certain things during what they call the up against the East Coast, etc., all of this stuff, right? Queen Khalifa and all of these type of people, right? And even those that was up against the East Coast. And up and down the Mississippi / Nile River, up and down these particular things, right? So when we talk about that, see, all of this was a lot of what you call the territory of who? Morocco. Mm-hmm. See, and then when you say, and see, we got to understand when we say Moors is just a term to speak on when you speak on the group as a whole. They were different based upon, because there were Turkish Moors, and that just means dark-skinned people. Understand that. So they were labeled by tribes. They were labeled by certain forms of empires, etc., which is the reason why Noble Drew Ali said the people are of Moroccan descent. Now that clarifies who you are as in Moroccan descent. Do y'all understand what I'm saying by that?
Copy that.
Okay. So when you understand from that point, right? And anybody that want to question this, I promise you, I can pull out a book right now and it will show you everything about what I'm saying. You can read it. But the Empire of Morocco literally stated that the United States was only to be here for commercial reasons. And they had the rights to use their coast, which means their borders, their coast. So to have a border is literally, if you're set up against the coastline, then if you got territory on that coastline, then you can build you a dock, et cetera, or whatever, to receive ships and import. Well, those things were had, and they were allowing them to transport back and forth to one another, right? That was the whole entire point. So now, if you understand that it started off as a commercial nation, it's still a commercial nation today. Okay? I know I said a lot, but I have to just so you can know, because a lot of people don't know. Do y'all understand that?
Yeah. Yep.
That's a few. Do y'all understand that?
Yes.
Oh
Got
yeah,
it.
man. Yes, sir.
They got a Dun and Bradstreet number too. If you look up the United States.
Yeah, they do. They do. But even before, but see, like Duns and Bradstreet just came up. See, we got something that predate that. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I say, like, even when we talk about this situation, because like these computers wouldn't have a lot of stuff wasn't into its actual existence at at that time. So when you look at it from from that point, then we, what's a Dunn's number when they was a corporation still before then, right? So just know that just what it is. All right. So now if we can pay attention, so now we can see that from this point on, in order for the United States to have any actions, because now you got to realize, right? They were still having trouble with a lot of the tribes that was inside. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That was inside of the country, like the states that's within, not the ones that's across the border. Which is reason why you can go back and see where they say certain American Indians sold out other American Indians, etc. Right? So, and now you can understand why. Like they were saying that, yeah, we're gonna give you this, we'll help you do this, we'll help you conquer this group of people. Some of them was enemies toward each other in the first place anyway. So it made it a whole lot easier for them when they added the colonies to help conquer their own. That is really the true story. And y'all gonna look at it like it's not, but I swear to God, that's exactly what happens when you read enough history about it. It's literally, that's all that happened. Some people wanted to conquer their own and be in charge in certain different ways. And again, the colonies used us and we used the colonies to conquer. Simple, which is the reason why you can go back and see what you call Black Americans at the beginning of certain republic state constitutions, right? Right?
Right.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's right.
this is something that known. Even like this is very simple, but people want to make it hard. And the truth is, we all created this history of what is today. We did it together. It wasn't no separate shit. We did all of this together. Simple. If you really accept it in that manner and truly understand. Because what you're dealing with has nothing to do with what you look like or any of that. It don't got nothing to do with that no more. Now everything has been fully commercialized. And this is the only way the United States could take over, is to place everybody in a presumptional base of commerce. So everything that you do and have to do with them has to be in a commercial setting. You see what I'm saying? This is the fact. So pay attention. All right. So today, understanding presumption in law and the Constitution protection against them. What is presumption in law? Definition of presumption, according to Black's Law Dictionary, a presumption is a legal, all right, inference or assumption that a fact exists based on the known or proven existence of some other fact or groups of facts. Now, presumption is a very dangerous thing because there goes that thing where I can just remember what I told y'all. I can take create a own contract, get you to sign something, lift your, scan your signature, place it on the document. I can take it to the court and say, we had a contract and here's the ledger and you didn't do whatever. That's based upon presumption and that's based upon facts because I can show proof of a contract, there's signatures there, and here I am calling you into court. Do y'all understand that? That's presumption.
Yep.
Now,
Yes.
in a world of commerce, there has to be some base foundation, which leads to presumption. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. So, unless a presumption is formally rebutted, it stands as fact in law. It has to be rebutted. So, therefore, the government stance is always based upon presumptions, and you must be ready to do what? Rebut. Because that goes back to what I was telling you, Demetrio, right? That's the same thing. You have to assert it immediately. Okay? So now that means that if the government presumes you are in commerce and you do not challenge it, you are legally treated as such. Okay? So how does the Constitution protect against presumption? So the U.S. Constitution and the right to private property is under the Fifth Amendment. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So the government cannot automatically classify you as a business and tax your property without due process of law. And that's true, right? So any taxation or licensing requirement without your voluntary consent is a violation of this right. Now, that is where they get you because they say that you voluntarily file and agree to pay taxes. That's the difference. See, do y'all understand that? That's how they get you. See, they stick it in commerce. They know they can't just go take money away from you. So based on how you do your W-4s, based on how you file, etc., all this is in a voluntary process. So they never took anything from you. You volunteered it. Yeah. Let's keep on going. The right to contract. Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1. No state shall pass any law impairing the obligations of contract. So this means the government cannot force anyone into a contract, including licensing, registration, and taxation without voluntary agreement. Got to be an agreement. Man, they teach y'all so much to go into businesses. But it said that you had the right to do what? Assemble, associate. I'm going to say this one more time. They want everybody to hop up and go into businesses. But you have the right to what? Assemble, associate. Now let's keep it moving. Just keep that in your mind, right? Man, we stuck with all we got to do is stick to our rights instead of what you're privileged to do. Right? So the right to travel, privileges, immunities clause, right? Then we have Article 4, Section 2. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to privileges and immunities of citizens in all several states, right? So now, the government cannot force individuals into commerce via license requirement for travel as well. Cannot force you into that. And they try. Because they know one idea. They know one thing. If we can just force them and pressure them into this. They work on a mechanism of fear, right? So let's just pay attention to why they do this to you. So in Hale versus Hinkle in 1906, the individual may stand up on his constitutional rights as a citizen. He is entitled to carry on his private business in his own way. Private business in his own way. The state cannot enforce cannot force an individual into commerce. They can't tell you what you have to be and what you have to do. But here's the thing. Man, remember, you got a right to associate. Let me break that down for you. I could be sitting on the side of the road with a sign that says $35 car washes. Now, I could start washing those cars, right? And I could have them lined all the way up down the street. And this could be routinely, right? And then they could just pull up on me and say, hey, you got a license to do business over here? Well, who's doing business? So if I consider this as, you know, because remember, the base foundation that you're going to find out is self-employed. But here's the thing. See, we got to be like them. What happens if every person that comes and washes the car, I make them sign this card that says, now you are part of a private membership association. And this is your dues for the initiation of the washing of your car. That changes the narrative. See, I just remove the presumption. But let's keep going, right? Let's keep going. So the state cannot require a license for the exercise of constitutional rights such as travel, private business, and private transactions. Can't do it. All right? So the presumption of commerce and taxation violating the Constitution. The IRS and unlawful commercial classification, the IRS automatically classify individual as taxable businesses, which violates due process and property rights under the Fifth Amendment. It does and it don't because, again, remember, you volunteered. So let me clear that up for you. It does and it don't because you volunteered. All right? The legal basis for the presumption of commerce. 26 U.S.C. subsection 7701A26. The term trade or business includes what? The performance of functions of a public office. Let me say that again. The term trade or business includes the performance of functions of a public office. So any form of trade or business is going on is considered the functions of a public office. The violation. So this presumes all individuals are what? Businesses in commerce, even when acting privately. That's the presumption. Now, is it a violation? Well, not really, because you are the one that's volunteering. All right. So the definition of gross income is what? All income from whatever source derived, including but not limited to compensation for services, business income, interest, rents, royalty, and dividends. The overbroad definitions assumes all income is taxable under commercial revenue because all of this is seen as if it was done in a form of trade or business to make what? Profit. Income, when we get down to the definition as it was stated, income is based upon what, family? A profit or gain, right? Exactly. A gain, profit or gain. And when you understand that, did you create wealth through your private labor? The answer is, well, no, you didn't. And if you didn't, well, that changes everything. So you have to clarify, because otherwise they're going to consider you as self-employed. So how daily spending is classified as commerce? Any transaction involving the exchange of value is presumed to be commerce and subject to taxation. Examples include buying groceries, gas, or clothing, cutting a neighbor's yard in exchange for something, giving money to a friend, relative, or religious institution, donations, or gifts. Right? They want to know. So the legal basis for the classification of spending as commerce, right? So under the UCC and tax law, presume all exchanges are commercial unless explicitly rebutted. If an exchange is not properly classified as private, the government assumes it as a taxable event. You have to know that, right? So every individual, right, under the Butchers Union Company versus Crescent City Company, right, 1884, every individual has the natural right to work for himself and contract for services without government interference, right? Private barter and labor cannot be taxed as commerce. Cannot. So, what helps in this? Well, things like private member associations. Private member association is a private contract between individuals who agree to operate outside of public law and commerce. It's what you want to do. You can have a private member association for contracting builders. Then you can have a private member association where you have people join who are trying to buy houses. Bring those two people together to meet. It's all private business, no taxation, etc., and a lot of stuff. I remember when, throughout history, when you read, people controlled the markets. Now it's being controlled by what you call corporations. All because people removed themselves from their rights and hopped into privileges. It's a privilege to carry a business on within the United States, which is a fictional corporation. But it's a right to associate as people and assemble for whatever reasons that you may deem properly for your own private business and liberties. Do y'all guys understand what I'm saying right now?
Yes, sir.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Nope.
Who said no? What don't you understand? We can't.
I got it, Eric.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So now, PMA does not fall under government regulation, commercial law, or taxation as long as their activities remain private. And guess what, guys? What does it say in the First Amendment? The people have the right to peaceably assemble. Man. What are the benefits? Exempt from public jurisdiction, not subject to statutory regulations or commercial obligations. Guess what? You can even do PMAs for your own courts. That if any situation happen or disputes happen within those communities, etc., that they must come to the people's courts. Do I need to say that again?
Yes, sir.
No.
Nope. You
It's
got it.
happen. It's happening right now in the United Kingdom, where they have their own common law courts.
Of course you can, because it goes back to what? Contract. State cannot interfere with the contracts of the people if it's especially when it's private. If you're not doing business within the United States to make some type of form of profit or wealth or gain within its system, then it's not a business. Simple. Privacy protection. Right? So exempt from public jurisdiction, you're not subject to regulations and commercial obligations. Privacy protection, members operate under a private agreement and are shielded from government oversight. No licensing requirements. PMAs do not need business license or regulatory approvals. Legal protections. Courts have upheld the right to form private association for mutual benefit. Of course. I keep saying that. Got the NAACP versus Alabama. The right to associate privately is protected under the First Amendment, 1958. Roberts versus United States. Jaycees, and that's 1984. A private group has the right to form its own rules without government interference, right? And then you got other additional law methods you can declare your private status, use private trust to uphold assets, conduct business trusts, issue notices to government agency. You can operate within a PMA to protect private transactions, etc. But the main thing is knowing how to exercise your right and to assert them, because all of these are protected according to the Bill of Rights. So if they come and infringe upon anything that you are doing, then they're definitely infringing upon the Constitution and breaking a Bill of Rights. Do y'all understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You sure? Sure you got it.
Got it. Yes.
Because the main thing is this. The base foundation for all of this is going to be one thing. They automatically consider you what? Self-employed, a sole proprietor. All right? So if they consider you that with that, then automatically they also consider you what? Come on.
In commerce.
A corporation.
In corporation.
Self-employed.
So now you got to think about that. Everything that you're doing, you're considered self-employed till you do something else different. It's considered that you are a actual business as a sole proprietor out here to gain a form of profit within the United States. Do everybody got that? The only way to change that is if you create some other form of business structure, whether it's some form of LLC, S corps, etc. But you also have trusts. You also have the right to do your, and throughout your religious venues as well as your PMAs, which a religious organization is a form of a PMA as well. So this is what it's going to take. Okay? This is what you guys have to realize when it comes to this. So now, for instance, if you got driver's license, right? All right, let's say you got some driver's license. Okay? And when you went and got the driver's license, what does the driver's license say? That's the first thing I want to know. What the driver's license
The state.
Name, date of birth.
Commercial.
No, I'm just saying, like, when you go and get it, what is the reason for going to get it?
To drive.
To do what?
To be able to drive.
To be identified as a licensed driver.
The privilege of driving.
To drive.
Operating commerce. A privilege.
A contract.
Right.
All right. And what else? Come on.
They want you to be a licensed driver. They want to be identified.
To meet a state obligation that they presented.
For hire.
And
For hire.
Okay, so what is the state? Now let's start with the state. The state is what? The state is business, correct?
Corporation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So think about that. The state is business. Okay? That's the main thing. The state is business. And if you know the state is business, that changes everything, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? That changes everything, right? So now, why do they do this to you? Why do they want you to go? Because they going off of what? Presumption. And see, people don't even understand. You got officers and people who are in this every day, daily, and they don't understand that everyone's, even themselves, they don't understand that their base foundation, no matter where you at, even when they leave work from where you so-called contracted with an employer, even when you leave there, you're still considered to be conducting business. You get that? You're still in business. Even when you go to a store and buy something, it's considered that you're going to resell it. Or it's a part of your, or it's a part of your business expense in certain type of ways, et cetera, right?
So the license is doing business.
So you're registering as an employee of the state.
A migrant farmer working in agriculture for the state of where you reside.
A sole proprietor hired from the state.
Well, see, the thing is, it's not that you were like hired from the state.
Board.
Okay, like you got to realize that, like, first off, it goes back to what the United States is. You was just giving this into, and see, I told you, like, today, you have no choice but to get it today. And the reason why I say that now is because, well, it's different for you now because if somebody's born right now, they have to get a Social Security card. They have to get this type of stuff because the point is like, again, where are you going to go? Everything right now, all businesses, everything in aspects of our life is something is under the United States. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you go buy some gas or you have to eventually use the dollar itself, then you definitely, especially if you spend enough money here, then you need to file a form. You need to file taxation. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all sure y'all
Got
get
it.
what I'm saying?
All of these courts out here are courts of presumption.
What they have to be though, it's not even just a court. It's the state itself. It's the United States. It's what it has to do, because the only thing that you can do first in business, and you can't really be mad at it, because this how it has to work. All right, so if you gotta think about in a world of business where people have a lack of words, there has to be some form of default, like a base foundation. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. Like there has to be, because if not, then everybody finna be like, you know, some like right now I could tell some people like, okay, you know, they don't know like certain, they need a base foundation. They don't know how to operate without, okay, well, what's the basic? Where do I start first? Before they could even actually understand what's going on and being said to them, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people need directions on where to go. If I tell somebody like, okay, this is what you do to start, you know, you need to go do to start a trust. They're going to be like, all right, well, what do I need to do? Well, did you not know you can go look up in your state about trust, and it's going to basically tell you the default of what it takes in default just to have a trust. And that means like, this is what it takes to have a trust regardless. Okay? Do everybody understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just like I showed y'all that one time, like this is what it takes for us to be in business. This is what it takes for us to do business. You get what I'm saying? That's what matters. This is what it takes for us to do business. So it'll tell you that you need a CEO or a CFO and a secretary and and you got to have your members for this or whatever. It'll give you a default based upon what you actually need in order to have the type of corporation or whatever you're trying to have. You see what I'm saying? It'll tell you what you need for LLC, right? According to the law. So you got to look at it from their point. All right, so now let's dive into this a little bit more deeper for you guys, okay? So when it comes to driving, right? Driver means one employed in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle. I want y'all to pay attention because every word means something. One employed. One is the individual. Employed means there's an employee-employer situation here in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle. The term driver is legally defined as someone employed in operating a vehicle. Employment implies a commercial activity, meaning driver is someone who operates for hire. So if you got driver's license, that automatically means that you are self-employed and you are for hire. So you are a self-employed for hire driver, like a taxi. Do everybody get that? I've said this many times to you, but this is the truth.
Yes.
So if you are not getting paid to transport people or goods, you are not a driver under legal definition. That's another thing. So motor vehicle under 18 U.S.C. 31A6 says a vehicle used for commercial purposes on the highways. That's a motor vehicle. Think about that. Commercial purposes, right? Commercial purposes. So the term motor vehicle applies only to vehicles used for commercial activity. A private automobile used for personal travel is not a motor vehicle under federal law. If you do not rebut the presumption, the government assumes your car is a motor vehicle and you are engaged in commerce. That's a fact. It's the reason why I always say that. So the hidden contract and license, when a person applies for a driver's license, they unknowingly enter a contract agreement that they are engaged in regulated commercial activity, driving. Their automobile is a motor vehicle subject to commercial statutes, and they waive their right to travel in exchange for privileges granted by the state. To do what? Business. To do business. So if you ain't like DoorDashing and all of that, y'all are commercial drivers. Do y'all understand that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So they must follow all statutes that govern commercial traffic. Now, the dangerous thing that what messes them up with this is that, like I said, even if we was to play their game, they have to prove what? That you was doing business. So what happens when you're off or you're not doing business? You're not carrying any commercial. You're not there for hire or anything, shape, form, or fashion at this particular moment in time. And you challenge that. Okay, well, since it says all of this, can you guys prove that I was in business at this particular time and the business that I was conducting? Prove it. Can you also, they have to, because if you're gonna, if a city can give you a ticket, then that means you have to be registered to do business within that city too. In certain places. See, if they're gonna consider that. But now that's the reason why on your driver's license, they register you as a what? Resident. What are residents? Businesses. They all place of businesses. So even when you at home, they're saying that you're self-employed, and all of your rooms, except like how they say your a room could be a unit, etc. They consider that. That's the reason why you pay taxes at home. Did you know that? Because it's based upon default. It's being used by a sole proprietor to make a form of profit within the United States corporation. That's a fact. Right?
Is that why you can consider your home a home-based business?
And that's why they allow you to do it for sure. Yep, absolutely. I don't know who that is. Somebody mute out. Sound like we in an airplane with you or something. I can just hear the background. There you go. All right, so Chicago Coach Company versus City of Chicago, 1929. A state may regulate commercial use of highways but has no authority over private travelers. Simple. See, you got to realize this because you got to know this. People always had the right to privately travel. All of a sudden, these commercial businesses start popping up. Now, because there's so much commerce on the road and they need to regulate commerce based upon what? Based upon the actual people. I mean, these particular, like now we carrying all type of flammable shit on the roads. They carrying shit that weigh 2 tons. You know what I'm saying? Like thousands or hundreds of, like they carrying heavy stuff that could literally, it has shown to be dangerous and cause death and fatal, accidents, etc. Right? So that is the whole reason why there is a commercial law. That's the reason why there is a traffic law. But it was never supposed to apply to all the people. But since they get to do what? Put you under the presumption. That's why they force you and say, well, if you're gonna drive, okay, well, drive means this. Driver. Yeah. So if you're gonna be a driver, yeah, that's what that means. But I'm not self-employed. I'm not operating to be self-employed or for drive for hire or any of that. That's what you got to start realizing when it comes to this, right? So this confirms that traffic laws only apply to commercial vehicles, not private travelers. So Kent versus Dooley in 1958, the right to travel is a part of liberty which a citizen cannot be deprived without due process of law. This ruling confirms that the government cannot restrict travel without due process, which is violated by forced licensing. So under Crandall versus Nevada, 1867, a citizen has the right to travel freely from state to state without interference. This supports that travel is a right, not a privilege requiring a license ever. So now when we start looking at trade and business, Trade and business under the 6th edition, the business of buying, selling, exchanging commodities by barter, or business of occupation which involves the creation or sale of tangible products. Simple. That's trade. Business is employment, occupation, profession, or commercial activity engaged in for gain or livelihood. Think about that. And it's really for gain. But if you say livelihood, it could be for the livelihood of the actual business. That's what they're talking about. The livelihood of the sole proprietor, not the actual living individual. So everyone is a sole proprietor. Under the IRS law and Uniform Commercial Code, presumptions, all individuals are assumed to be self-employed business unless they properly rebut their status. Right? So when you look at Title 26 USC 7 subsection 77 01A26, the term trade or business includes the performance of the functions of a public office, and that presumes that every working person is engaged in trade or business unless they rebut it. Right? And I pretty much already went over this with you. So I just want you guys to know self-employment, self-employed, sole proprietors. That's the first thing. So you are assumed to be a running business, and you are subject to self-employment tax of 15.3%. All earnings are assumed to be gross income under Title 26, subsection 61A. Even non-commercial activities such as cutting a neighbor's yard are considered taxable business activity because you what? Self-employed. And you did it for your own as a contractor. Remember, everybody's is considered to be what? Public officials in trade and business. I'm in public office. The term trade or business includes the performance of functions of a public office.
I got a question.
Hold on. I'm going to get to the questions. We're going to get to them. So how the basically how you rebut them is, again, always asserting your rights. And that's just what I'm going to say. So if we reclassify vehicles into PMAs, private trusts, et cetera, that changes everything. You could have your own form of law, et cetera, that's set up by it. Really, all DMVs are a type of private association. If you didn't know, that's the reason why they even learned to set it up in the first place. Is because of that. And again, so it's just more about you understanding, right? And when it comes to self-employed, you got to understand you're not engaged in trade or business. Your earnings are private compensation for labor. You do not operate as a public office or contractor. Understand that. So now that means if you don't want the sole proprietor, let me say it like that. If you don't want the sole proprietor to have all the money, then you need to literally put it into a trust. And you can let the trust have all of the money. And I'm talking about it don't even distribute it to the beneficiary. The money belongs to the trust to do its mission, which could literally be what? Take care of the family needs and continue to grow the family in wealth. So that could involve all of your necessities and et cetera. All of that is fully tax exempt. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
So that is the actual difference here in what we are speaking and saying. Okay? That is what makes this totally different. And I think that we can't, even with today, like, even if you're new to this your first time hearing this or whatever, this is something you need to know. Because it's going to change your perspective on how you hear all this stuff about what type of orders Trump's writing when it comes to the DEI and all this type of stuff. Like, then you will start to understand better. Like, okay, now I understand on my position on who I am in relations to this system. And now that I know that, these are the things that I can do to be in a stance to where I'm still in my own sovereignty as the people. Because again, you have the right to assemble. You got that right. It's a privilege to contract with the government. Do y'all hear what I'm saying?
Loud and clear.
It's a privilege, right? So basically what they saying, anything that y'all can give y'all self, give it to yourself. We ain't gonna bother you. Simple. But anything we got to give you, we need to see your whole life, and we bother you. And we got the right to create any form of policies that can affect you in any kind of way because we're the trustees. It's called a spendthrift trust. That's what the whole Social Security is anyway. It's a spendthrift trust. Can y'all see the difference? I watched this one show. I think what's the show where Adam Sandler was the jeweler?
Oh, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
And he got shot, killed. Yeah.
Right.
And then.
Yep.
It's diamonds. I'm trying to think of the name of it though. I know it's a diamond, John.
Spoiler alert, but yeah, he did die. But anyway, on this particular movie, notice that was a what community? Come on. What was the community?
Jewish?
Yes, it was a Jewish community. Now, somebody owed somebody some money in that particular setting. What did they do? Where did they go? Was they in a court? Come on. They was amongst their own in a form of a PMA and arbitration. And whatever they said was law. Uncut gems. Thank you. Do y'all hear what it's like? See, they put so much in your face that y'all don't even really be seeing it for real. Answer, like, think about that. The only reason you are at court is because you couldn't handle your own problems. As far as those type of disputes. But I'm saying that it goes all the way back. Like, it goes all the way back, man, to understand. Like, because even the mafia started understanding association, so they did everything by union. So they took force over the industry by union with the mafia because they understood PMA, private member associations, which are all what unions are. And they made everybody comply with the union because now we control who works and who don't at what cost. And it's like, it's so simple because if there was PMAs in every job, then there would never be no such thing as anybody getting underpaid. Do y'all know that? That's why NBA have what they call what? The Players Association. Are y'all paying, like, you gotta do is pay attention? It's happening everywhere. Like, look, why do they have a Players Association? To leverage the power of the player. Think about that.
Is that the same thing in jobs having unions?
That's the exact same thing. That's their union. And everything that the president of the Player Association do is on behalf of the players to make sure that everything there's no infringing upon the players based upon their union that they have. So why is that not a setup? If that's set up somewhere in what you call a multi-billion-dollar company organization, why is that not set up in everything else that's going on? See, think about it. One of the most people out here complain the most is teachers. And you mean to tell me there's not a PMA or a union for teachers right now? that everybody's all over the world in, and all teachers should say, hey, we're never going back to work without this price.
And they do have a teachers union though.
Do they?
Yeah, they go to them conferences once a year?
Guess what? They suck
All
ass.
them go down to Atlantic City.
They suck. And here's the thing. But here's the thing about the Teachers and Members Association. And this is the reason why I said this is the difference between them and the mob. The mob gonna pull up at your door and say, hey, you gonna get your ass in this union. One way or another. Because ain't no way around it. But see, what you have is people who don't like to comply to what's going on because they don't understand the structure of control and leverage. So you will have people who will step outside their box, who are teachers, who are going to not be in the union and go work. But see, it only works when you can control the majority of it. And if you can control the majority of it, when it comes to a union, well, you leverage the control based upon what the people can get paid, etc. See, this is the thing about being like, this is why I say, like, they created a system, but if you really sit back and break it down, it's like, yo, this is really easy to beat. We don't have to do shit with you guys. We could just do for us, walk away. You see what I'm saying? Walk away. It's that easy. And if you understand from that part, we're wasting our time in what we're doing in any of this right now. If you don't have a plan for yourself, and when I say self, I mean community, whatever that looks like for you. If that's not a plan, then guess what? You will be going according to someone else's plan. And you had no say-so over that plan. Autonomy. You guys want autonomy so bad, but why are we talking about other people's plan and you don't have one?
Need to get enough resources together so we could sit out from them jobs and be able to plan them. You know, there's a lot of people.
But the first and only resource you need to make everything happen to deal with all the other resources is people. That's the most valuable resource. It's people. There's nothing here more valuable when it comes to you looking at other than people. What you gotta think about it? What value do the herbs hold to us if people are not here and we didn't exist? Then what's a gold? What's silver? What's like? What purpose would it serve if it did not serve to you? If that makes sense to you.
No, you're right.
So what I'm saying and everything that I'm telling y'all is like you've been duped for real. You've been taught completely to go away from yourself as people to where we rely on corporations who have nothing but policies and no sympathy, etc. Like that's what we're dealing with. You know? Like it goes to the part to where you got to look at who we are, what's going on with us, and what we doing, and why we don't have what we supposed to have. And it goes back to a sickness. It's a mental illness because, like for me, man, like for my children, man, I didn't have to squash a lot of beef, a lot of for the betterment of for the greater good of my family, and that's just like getting along with people that I know damn well I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? That involves me having to lose or not do money in certain ways that I know I can make a whole lot more in, but I don't indulge in it because there's a greater cause that I'm here for. You know, certain things I'll let you say and I just walk off because there's a greater cause. That's all I'm saying. We have to be able to decide that and make that decision. Like what is it? And I'm saying it to everybody in here. What is it right now that's stopping you? What's stopping you? What's stopping you right now from being able? Cause I always think about the rich man walking up on Yahshua and saying, you know, how can I get into heaven? And he said, man, give it all up. You know, and see, when I hear give it all up and give it to the people, etc., it was more to the point to where even when you hear give it all up, that means that like you're gonna take everything that's needed for the betterment of the greater good of the people, which also includes you. So I don't know why he excluded himself. It included him. But if everybody gave all they have to make sure that we have all we need, then eventually we'll have all we want. Does that resonate with you right now?
Sure do.
Yeah, that's like real community.
And that takes us back to what we said about a community. I told y'all the person next door is that you can't even really consider it a neighbor. It's just somebody that lives there. It's not even a community. And you have to look at it from that point because, again, all communities have went digital. Most people meet in their communities through groups on social medias. That's who they vibe with. That's who they whole interaction of life with. That's who they take trips with. That's who they do business with. That's who they, etc. That's who they doing all this type of stuff with, right? Most people have met through online, for sure. Especially over the past 15 years, I know for sure. So if you look at it from that standpoint, then now that takes away, like I was talking about, what I mean by the thriving of a community, because when we go back, everybody want to be Wall Street so bad. Go back to Black Wall Street. We need to go back to how when you not willing to physically do this? And what I mean by that is like that inquires one, you being industrious. Ain't no sitting on your ass. You have to be industrious. You have to go out here and do businesses. Number one, for the necessities of what we got to have, then for the want. But you got to let the professions be, you got to let the professions be the professions, meaning let the blacksmith be the blacksmith. Let the potter be the potter. Let whoever be whoever and needs what needs to be. And then you got to understand we ain't going nowhere else. The reason why culture matters is because once you develop culture, once you develop in that culture, then it comes from clothing, etc. Then our culture is to buy here from us, for us, by us. So if you start looking at it from that point of view, this creates a form of a culture for you, even when it comes to your attire. Because whoever makes the clothes, this is who makes the clothes. We're gonna buy the clothes from here because the point is we just need some clothes. It ain't about how we look or style. It's because we're circulating and keeping our money. Now we got somebody to just fire to just styling. We just got a badass stylist. But at the same time, the point is just to have clothes. So if you remove all the fancy things away from it and just deal with the perspective of we need clothes. So make sure we got clothes. Whoever make the clothes, this is where we buy from. We don't go anywhere else. So on, so on, so on. It needs to be that way in the community. And then those who come and visit your market, they spend their money there. Then that money continues to circulate still to your community. It never goes outside of your community. And it's a constant flow of either your money staying in or money coming in. And the only time we're going out is because maybe we're buying something or needing some type of product, et cetera, that's outside of the community. But other than that, and even then, you're trying to find a way to establish that. I mean, to me, that's just the most logical freaking shit to do. Anything other than that, it's okay. Let's suffer. We like it. I mean, that's just what it is. But you got
That's how them.
Say what?
That's how these churches were supposed to operate, but they don't.
Because it starts with the mindset. It starts with the heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where it starts at. You know, we can look each other in the eye and say amen and shout and see who shouted the loudest and see who did the best dance and see if who gave the best sermon and the best preacher that make me feel good. But when we lead it, we a broken ass community, bro. We look like no, this is not it. You know, we can. Why is there not healthcare plans coming from a $1 billion industry, especially when it comes to what we call black churches? I don't understand that. I see a lot of y'all complaining. Where's the you talking about the what everything is going on with Trump? Where is it at from your church that we've invested in forever? Come on. What the hell we investing in then? Some bullshit?
The building fund. That's what
Or
they're
they
doing.
got
The
they
building
got quiet
fund.
on you.
Over generations.
What did we build?
Sick people.
A bigger church.
That's what we built.
And this is not a this ain't and I'm gonna say this too. This is not a shot at the church because I come from that, and so do a lot of y'all. It still always goes back down to because when we leave the churches, it's family. You ain't even got that unity in your families either, right? You see what I'm saying? So my point is it all goes back down to us as the people, as individuals. First, we need to check ourselves. Real talk. We need to check ourselves in everything that we're doing. You can't get mad at these people like it's insane. And then it's like you watch some of these churches, y'all sow all this money to these people, and then when shit happens, they won't even let you in to find some damn heat. Boy, they had to put them folks on TV and on blast just to get them folks to let somebody in the church, Osteen, whatever his name was, right? When it was in Houston, right?
Yeah, he wasn't having it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what is it? What's what? What's this? What's that? So we got to really start understanding like what truly is so and how to really move. But we got to hold ourselves accountable. And I'm asking that because, again, and I say that for certain communities because I know for the so-called black community, the church is where the leaders is at. Well, I promise you, the pastor runs a lot of people's household and he don't even know it.
Facts.
Real shit. Y'all think am I lying? Y'all think I'm playing?
Nope. Pastor said.
Pastor said.
No, I'm serious.
You're so right.
So if this is where our leadership is, and it's nothing, it's just like, and I'm not saying y'all go jump on the pastor. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we have to really look at our decisions as people and fully reflect on everything. It's stupid. It's stupid to not pay attention, no matter what. Not even just, no, I don't care what community it is, whatever. Because I know churches in America is a big thing. Like real big. It's a huge thing. So not just our church, well, everybody's. But I'm just saying, not even just that. I'm gonna say temples too. This goes out to the any temples, whoever. I'm talking about everybody. What is it that we doing? I don't care if you a Hebrew Israelite. I don't care if you If you Moorish or Native, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is you freaking playing. We got more complaints of people not doing, you see what I'm saying, than actually doing. That's the reflection of this. This information that we spoke on today, this is real basic information, but at the same time, it's deep. There's a lot of stuff people don't understand. But we out here for the almighty dollar. We ready to go chase it. A lot of people, man, they realize they make so much money, then they spend it, and then the IRS come out them and they don't got no money still. They go broke. All because they don't understand it. And now they wish they never ran into that money. Real talk. They wish they never ran into it.
You know what's deep? We had so many of our top leaders and actors and stuff like that, right? Go to jail for tax evasion, and all they possibly had to do was claim lawful money.
I mean, it ain't even just that. They just could have moved it into the trust and not own it. But you letting your sole proprietor hold everything. It has a 15.3% tax. That is freaking insane. Shit, that's a lot of money.
It is.
You see what I'm saying? That's a lot of money. So we got to look at it. My brother said something today. My brother the other day, he said, Jesus was not a Christian. I said, well, he can't be. Well, no way he could be, because that means to be that means to be a follower of Christ. So how is he a Christian when it meant to follow him? So like, if you think about it, like, no, he couldn't. The Christians were the one who considered to follow. So no, he wasn't. It was the followers. So I just thought that was pretty funny though. But I'm just saying, like, even when it comes to stuff like that, man, God is amazing. And when I read the Constitution, when I think about our liberties, our rights, we look at everything, God has already placed us in the right place. We the ones jumped outside the box. Do y'all understand that?
Yes.
We jumped
And the
outside the
ultimate
box.
question is, can we come back from it?
I know I can.
Yes, we can.
That part.
I know I can. Sure. Hey,
sir.
we ain't that far gone. It's hard, but we gonna make it. We gonna get there. But we have to come we have to come true in heart, true in spirit. We have to come wanting. We have to come willing. And that means, like, just like everything else you set out to do. Man, nobody stopped you. You went to go do it. So treat this the same way. Give it your all. And that's why I say, like, from compared to the shit I used to do and used to be afraid of having to go to court and all that stuff for, like, man, I'll go to court for a traffic ticket proudly. I'm going to smile. Shit. Listen, I ain't in here for trafficking. I ain't in here for, shooting an occupied vehicle or some shit like that, man. I'm gladly to be in here today for a traffic ticket. I go. And that's all that's it. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Because now everything comes to how you align, and I keep telling y'all this too. You can't straddle the fence, yo. It's a certain type of lifestyle you're going to have to live, and you cannot straddle the fence. You can't mix both worlds. Yep, you can't do it. You can't be claiming the right to bear arms but hitting drive-bys. Can't do it. You can't do it. That's just, you can't do it, yo. You got to realize that. You can't be screaming no injured party, but you getting caught with trafficking cocaine and fentanyl. If people dying from it in your city and you the one got caught with it, well, put two and two together. We just got the right to presume that you sold it or put it out in our streets. You can be charged with just murder or a conspiracy to it. You can't beat that, King. Because there's injured people. I mean, there's certain ways you can beat it, but I'm just trying to tell you, you can't straddle the fence. So everybody should know, what is the base foundation in commerce for you?
Everything is business.
Presumption.
Presumption. Yeah, I say that too.
Presumption of what? Y'all got to give people better answers than that. Y'all could have said
You're
something.
presumed to be doing business at all times until it
Treat
gets
everything
busted.
like a corporation, like they treat everything like their corporation. Operate as if you are using an operating agreement and run your business like they run their business.
It's basically self-employed. That's the base foundation for everybody. Even your child right now is self-employed. They can't be hired, but they are self-employed. If you pay your child for doing the job, that's self-employed. Which is why y'all.
So we're forced into self-employment because we're here and we're operating.
You ain't forced in it. It's just presumed until you say otherwise. Remember, it's voluntary. You the one gets to say. Now, if you just continue to go along and say it's self-employed, then that's on you.
These assholes, but I got it.
Oh, you feel what I'm saying?
Totally.
All of this is on y'all. Like, you got to really think about it. Like, all right, so if you think about taxation, they can't tax you and just take your money. So that would need to be done by due process. So that means they allowed you to you volunteered. So anything that you put on that tax document is by volunteering. So you're saying and classifying your own money. They didn't classify it, you did.
Wow.
They didn't classify your business, you did. If you didn't mention trust, there is no trust. You didn't mention LLC, you didn't mention this, you didn't mention that, you didn't show that you filed. So automatically you're self-employed. Sole proprietor.
So we keep signing up because we want to participate.
Basically, but again,
okay,
it just all depends on how you move the money.
I got it.
This is what you say. This is why yes, the people have the power. You do. But you're the one that's saying all this. You're the one setting all this into motion.
Wow.
Yeah. This is what we're doing. We're the ones that's going on that 1040 form, reporting all this stuff as profit income, and we ain't make no adjustments to it. We didn't do anything. We didn't make no nothing. And then when you go look at sole proprietor and what it says, like, hold up. How am I being charged like this? Like, you got charged damn near if you was like the employer almost. Nah. Let me redo some stuff. Mm-hmm. So now if we start operating under private contracts, we start doing stuff like that as people. If people are in PMAs, we're doing private member association. There's contractions that happens there with all business, etc. The PMA could have its own form of arbitration, court, etc. Based upon the contracts that's being taken amongst the members. Yeah, we get rid of a lot of things. Now you don't need a license to build certain things. And you are fully capable of doing it all. But again, this goes all the way back to Association. All right, millionaires, you got a question? What's up?
Mm.
Waiting on ya.
My my bad, Eric. I hit the wrong button.
Okay. Anybody got a question? Go ahead, Jordan.
I do. So I understand how to operate as a business using this PMA. Say I have my Sacred Wealth Trust and my 508 C1A, and I can use this instead of my LLC to operate in a business. But once you operate in the public, that's where I'm kind of lost in how to stand on my rights with that. Like if I'm having an issue in the public, how can I bring that in? That's where I'm
When
kind
you
of
say
lost at.
issue like what?
Like say for instance, my situation too. How would I be able to bring in my this situation, or how would I be able to tie this into my situation or due process?
I don't know what you're talking about, what your situation is. I talk to a lot of people.
Okay, as far as the illegal eviction that I'm having an issue with
See, that's
the
something
county
totally,
sheriff.
that's something we talking about in totally indifferent. And now you don't have to operate in that matter to speak on your rights. That's not what we're talking about here today. We're talking about just based upon business relationships, etc. You still got a right to exercise your right. They already violated you. I told you exactly what to do. It's just to sue the people. They all need to be
Right.
sued. They all violated the civil right. You can sue them under what is it, 42 USC 1983? Is that not it, guys?
That's it.
Yeah, you can sue them specifically under that. They did everything without due process of law. They violated the Constitution. It's just that simple. Like yours don't incline in that. Now, when it comes to if a LLC makes money, and if that LLC, like I always say, donate the money, give it to the trust.
Okay.
And once you give it to the trust, you give it to the trust. Let the trust have it. Let the trust control it. Let it be the trust. You don't even have to distribute it to the beneficiaries. Just let the trust own it. And the trust job, it can hold the money to ensure what anytime the LLC needs anything, it take care of its necessities. So it's all in the form of giving and gifting. And not only that, that's part of the trust expenses, which can be deducted. So now it's in a non-tax situation at all times. Yep. You can do that all day long. Nothing they can do. Move the money. Move it, move it, move it. Like even with myself, like with In God We Trust Academy, simple. I got to trust. The mission is what you guys are here with, In God We Trust Academy. Anything I make from the website or anything like that, all of that money goes into the trust immediately. I make the trust hire me. So the trust just hired me to do this. So now all the money that I make to do this from the websites, etc., it goes into the trust. I convey it to the trust to take care of the ministry, which also means it take care of me, it take care of my family who's a part of the ministry, take care of all of our expenses, household expenses, etc. Take care of everything. Tax exempt. It's all based upon the religious purposes in the first place. Everything I do. Do y'all understand that?
Yep.
Yes, fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's just how it's structure. Structure is everything. And remember, whoever get caught with the money has the liability, unless it's in an entity hand that is under some form of giving, or it's like a trust, foundation, from some form of nonprofit. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All righty. Does that help you and what we saying, Jordan?
Yeah, it's starting to click.
All right. Well, did you write everything down and send it to us?
Yeah, I sent it to y'all last week.
Okay, I gotta go look for it, but that will be done. Um, Somebody said I heard Dr. Phil Valentine say the only reason you are still paying taxes is because you keep signing that line. It's not mandatory, it's voluntary. And y'all ass keep volunteering information. Not necessarily true. Because all they need to know, like, okay, a bank is going certain things are going to report things on you anyway for their good. So they know what you have. So my point in me saying that is to the point where it's voluntarily because you volunteered based upon the information that you are given. It ain't even about you giving the information. It's how you gave the information. Like some stuff you can claim through gift estate taxes and stuff like that. 709, 706. Nobody ever really does that. But you can. You see what I'm saying? It's certain things like how many people actually they family die and then they go start a decedent estate. Like that, it's rarely heard of. You don't hear that. It's unless you in this type of field talking about this stuff. But over the past people that have transitioned that I've known over the past couple of years, nobody has mentioned anything about getting a decedent estate for their families that has transitioned, right? So if you understand that point, like that's what I'm saying, like it's voluntary. So now you could still be doing stuff in those people names, right? But why you don't have the decedent estate? So you can start reporting certain things based upon taxation deductions. So all right, look at it like this. You can still make it look like that individual still takes care of the household through the estate. Simple. That's his duty. That's the foundation duty to take care of the people in many different ways, right? But again, it has to be established. It has to be structured in that way. So I hope that helps out. Go ahead, time travelers.
I think you kind of answered what my question was going to be because I do transportation, like trucking and stuff like that. So I'm always in commerce because all my stuff is commercial. So, but I think, like you said, move the money. I think that answered it for me.
Yeah, if anything that you make it, like all your funds that you receive, you can automatically convey every bit of it to the trust right now. Absolutely. Nothing they can do. All right, Demetria.
Hey, Eric.
What's up?
I'm kind of confused. Okay, so let's just say, okay, I have my trust established, but I have not opened a bank account, but I've conveyed like everything, tangible and intangible property, got my Schedule A. So if I did some work for a company and I received 1099s at the end of the tax year, how do I go about this if I had not already opened a bank account?
How do you go about what if you haven't opened a bank account?
Well, just to try to make sure that it's protected in the trust. I would not have to still
account don't protect the trust. The conveyance is what protects the trust. The conveyance
okay.
is considered the legal title, which shows ownership of the trust.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. All right.
All right, you're welcome. Dr. Felton.
Hey, Eric, awesome class. I was going to ask you, you were just mentioning about the decedent estate. Have you already taught that class? Is that already available to purchase?
Yeah, the affidavit of heirship class. We talked about it thoroughly in there.
And okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna get that. Thank you so much. I was actually gonna do a consultation just to ask you some questions about that. I didn't know you had already done a class on it. So that's awesome. Thank you.
I have, and it's half off right now. So you lucky.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Don't y'all forget, everything half off right now, all the way into.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it tonight.
After the birthday.
Yes,
so, all right, Jenny.
Hey there, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, I was wondering about I remember you talked about don't commingle funds, yet we're conveying them into, say, our trusts and stuff. So how do you manage not commingling when you're actually you're conveying things into a different area, like your
If
trust
it
from
convey,
your, say, your social
if it belongs to the trust, it belongs to the trust. All you got to do is put the funds in the trust. Say what the specific reasons is for. That's what it's for. Make sure you use it for exactly what it's for. If you use it for something opposite other than that, that's considered commingling funds.
So just stating in your trust what the trust is going to spend money on in what area
It don't
completely
necessarily
covers
have to
not
be in the
commingling.
declaration of trust. It just needs to make sure that if you convey something, because remember, I told you a conveyance is like a trust. I can convey different property and give different instructions with that property in a trust, and that each and every property has its own form of trust based upon how I conveyed it with the directions, with the expression of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
All righty. Anybody else got a question for us? Like for real, like today, man. I really, really, really wanted to show y'all this because this will help you clear up of what you think about this system and what's going on. Because the base foundation, no matter what, is self-employed. So that means any money that you get is that you did it for hire and for profit. So you need to learn. If you don't want to be taxed in this certain type of situation, et cetera, then you need to move your money. Move it to trust. Okay? So when you do move it to the trust, now that's where you start establishing what you want to do. And then even the trust can be taxed if you do certain things with it. But you got to understand how to move the money so it can't be taxed. All right, King Biggs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. What's up, bro? Yeah, man. I'm still trying to work with my family. With this whole conveying the house into the religious, you know, trust and getting the taxes back. With that, I mean, making the property tax exempt. That's first and foremost, and then running it back. What kind of proof or evidence you think, outside of the certificate of trust and the kind of the stuff we talked about? I think that was about last Monday. I guess my question is, do you think we'll have to show any banking information when it comes to making that declaration? I guess that's my question.
Okay, so what does banking have to do with owning property to be a tax exempt is what I'm trying to figure out. What's your correlation
Well,
to what you're trying to say?
well, if it's religious, if I'm trying to run it back to March 1st, 1994, which is when they bought the house, do you think that the tax assessor could turn around and ask for any sort of evidence other than that certificate of trust to validate that?
To validate what though?
To validate that the trust began in 1994.
That what trust began in 1994?
Okay, the family trust, the religious trust, I'm saying was is spiritually and religiously based, and it began in 1994. So I'm making the tax exempt now, and it was tax exempt then, and they need to refund the taxes from 1994. Do you
And
think
why is
that's
it tax
sufficient?
exempt?
Because it's a religious based property and it has
So
made
the
no
only thing
money.
they want to know, the only thing they're gonna ask is, okay, prove it's religious based. What forms of practices daily do you guys do there to show that this is a religious? Because that's the only thing they have to say stand on. So you got to know that that's what they're gonna ask. It's not about no money, but it is in order for you to get the money you speaking on, then you're gonna have to go get the amount of taxation that has been paid on there since then. That's your duty.
Okay, that's what's up. Gotcha. And I already clarified why it's religious based on the activities there. So I think I'm straight there. I need to go get the exact amount from that date. That's what I need.
Yep, that's what you got to do.
So thank you, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else? Go ahead, Joy.
I do have one more. So you're saying to convey the money to the trust, but if I have my PMA, if I set up my PMA under my Sacred Wealth Trust or my 501c, and I'm using that, and I already sent the IRS my non-statutory status letter saying I'm tax exempt. Do I still convey to the trust if I have that PMA in place? If I'm using that PMA as the, say, quote unquote, non-business?
None of that, like what you asking me is about money, correct?
Yeah,
So the
basically.
thing is like what matters is what you say, what the money is being used for, and where it's at. Whether you want
Okay.
to say PMA trust, 508, some nonprofit organization or whatever foundation, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
That's all on you. But that money has to be in the place to where it's not being used as a profit or gain, or nor was it received as a profit or gain.
Right. Okay. I understood.
Somebody said, "What are your thoughts on revocation of election from income tax?" You can do it, but here's the thing: if you go pay a tax right now, what you gonna do?
Enter into agreement.
Nah, like the thing is this. Like my whole point is this: you can do that, and that's fine. But the minute you go out here and you pay a tax through receipt, et cetera, or whatever, then you got to go do what? You got to go file a report to tax to get your money, right? Like, and that's the thing. People keep looking at it like you have to, like you ain't paying the tax. You're reporting taxes. You shouldn't be paying taxes if you're not in for profit. So we just reporting. What are we reporting? We're just reporting the transactions. And we're showing because by default, it's all considered what? Profit, gain. Until you show different that these transactions were not in that particular setting. Now, do y'all understand?
Yes.
Yep.
This is what y'all dealing with. This is what we have to deal with. This is what we're going through right now as a people. So it's like, okay, remember, I said everything you see them doing, why you ain't doing it? They showing you how they operating. If you want to operate like in your ministries, then all you got to do, I'm not saying do exactly everything they do, but when it comes to the business part of it, then watch TD Jakes, watch all of them, watch how they move, watch how they set up, watch how everything is enlisted under their church, from the house to the car to the jet to the this to the that to the whatever to the clothes to the everything. Everything. The man that y'all got the baddest man sitting in the seat who willing to show you everything. Even though people got different feelings about him, but hey, that's the best man to show you what's going on right now, no matter how you feel about him. I was talking to my nephew about Trump today, and he was talking about, like, I was saying, like, I think he do it on purpose, but like he give like incomplete sentences to shit. Especially when he said like the helicopter crash and the plane crash, whatever. He was just like, that's basically like this got something to do with DEI. Like that is so broad to say, and it's just left a doorway open to where. And I'm like, he do that, and I'm like, he got somebody. His PR need to like let him know, like, bro, you gotta stop doing it. You gotta, you need
Right.
to say exactly what you mean. I know what he meant. Because one of the pilot in the situation was considered a transgender. And well, if you do the study on these particular things, they go through a body change, and and a lot of these things have been, well, it's been more on the unsuccessful side than successful side. Even the lifespan of the individual, all the way to schizophrenia, all the way to neurological things happening to their bodies, etc. Right? You need to do your research, right? So that is what he was pointing at. Situations like that involves receiving someone. So they had to accept this particular individual based upon the DEI. Do y'all understand what he was trying to say now? Because he did not do a good job of just saying it. He just said some shit. But I knew what he was pointing at, which he does that all the time though, in a lot of different stuff. But when you think about it though, like, man, I'm tired of the color shit. Tired
So
of
y'all
it.
y'all
Go ahead.
y'all don't think we at war? Y'all don't think we have some type of war right now? Because it's been 2 more crashes.
What you mean we at, man? We've been at war since we came out the womb.
We always at war.
I'm talking about, but basically like with the maybe with something with AI or something like that. They are taking control of the planes or in some shape or fashion.
So now
Because it's
we
been war. It's been 2 more crashes.
What is it, Skynet? That's what you're talking about. Ain't that what it's called? Skynet on Terminator. Yeah, we got Skynet fucking with us now. Nah, but
It's been 2 more crashes.
But see,
That wasn't reported.
See, y'all be forgetting shit.
All in the same week. Like, that's
Nah,
crazy.
y'all be forgetting shit though. We just had a whole dude come out last year, whistleblowed about these airplanes and the defects and the people that's working in them that's not properly fixing this shit, that don't know shit about shit, and they all was hired under DEI. How about that?
Oh yeah.
Now
Wow.
ask yourself where this dude at is, where he at right now, because he missing.
Also, Eric, like in the industrial and heavy industrial construction, a lot of people know that if they ever worked in them, whenever you see an accident, it always happens in pairs, and sometimes they happen in multiple pairs. That's because when an incident takes place, from the last incident to the most recent incident, everybody gets lax in between. And so when they start happening, they happen because everybody had been so lax.
Thanks.
They had a eyewitness. I think it was in was it Philly, but Delaware one. They had a dude that saw everything. He was like cars that was nowhere around where the incident happened at was just blowing up.
Well, again, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna leave it at this. Did y'all forget the type of people that they sent over here on them goddamn ships? Y'all forgot? They sent murderers. They sent rapists. They sent people with schizophrenia. They sent all of that here. The worst of the worst. They sent they criminals. Pay attention. One thing I know is DNA and DNA structure. And that has to be that's passed on from generations to generations to generations. We can't forget evil exists. We always at war. And I know that for a fact. Y'all know that. We know that. We know they using, cause like it don't. I'm gonna put it like this. What they say, what's done in the dark is done. It comes out into the light. Right? It's done silently through food. Like, this is what I keep saying. We don't need a big bang. We don't need a big bang to realize we at war. Like, bro, we really at war. And it ain't like a group of people that's outside that they want to see you die. No, it is a selective group of people who are on a constant fixed state of death with you. And it's going to operate. Everybody else operates through ignorance. But those who are aware are fully aware. That's the reason why, like, a lot of y'all don't understand that everything that Biden and them did through healthcare, et cetera, they gave 1.5 billion to the HBCU. Now, remind you, Trump gave $1 billion first, and he told them they can do whatever they need to, for their schools, to help them schools better. Biden took it away, but rewrote it and gave it to them in a different form. Guess what that 1.5 billion was used for? For COVID. Now think about it. What the hell does that serve as a purpose? But the only thing people know is, oh, he gave some money. No, you didn't read the shit. And you didn't understand. He didn't give them a damn thing. It was only used to help for COVID purposes throughout the program, to help build those programs, to get these people to taking vaccinations, et cetera, and stuff like that, right? Y'all do know
They were
that.
trying to shame black men specifically to take that damn shot.
I mean, that's true, but that's my point. That's the point of where the money went. That's why I keep saying, like, people are not understanding what's happening, why everything is being changed. But just because somebody offered you an Obama healthcare, et cetera, do you know what's written in the shit? You see what I'm saying? Like, now you go and see, like, why is Trump forcing vaccines? People not even reading. He rewrote the whole COVID thing because now it's not that if you don't take it, you lose a damn job or anything. You got other selections in life that you can do. You can choose not to do it. Not only that, you get to choose the doctor and medicine you want now. Or even want to try. Nobody can stop you from your liberties. If you find other things that's available to you, that's what you get to do. But that was the whole purpose of him rewriting it. He know they're going to enforce vaccines in the first place. He know that's a thing, and it's always been around. Matter of fact, some people are actually for it. But guess what? We're going to give people their choice. So when you hear Trump's pushing vaccines, no, he did not. He's pushing the freedom of choice with vaccines. It's a difference. But y'all don't pay attention. You're so busy on wanting to hate the damn man instead of really reading and seeing what's actually happening. How many of y'all knew that?
I've been trying to tell folks.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's why one of the senators said, all my constituents, I urge y'all to read the 14th Amendment completely in its entirety.
Right. So why do y'all think he giving the money back to the ones that was fired? Now people mad because he's removing government, moving funding or making these people go back to work. But if you think about it, why do we got all these federal buildings and these employees at home? What the frick are we doing? So what do you mean to tell me they've been sitting on vacation all this time while they've been working from the crib, bro? Doing all kind of things, anything. We just got federal buildings that we paying for that money ain't even doing nothing in there. And they sliding that money on to these people to take these vacations and shit. Then certain things that was issued out, it went all the way to Ukrainian, where Obama and Joe Biden them all got certain type of businesses over there. I keep telling y'all this, but y'all don't pay attention to shit. You just want to be mad for nothing without even taking the time to breathe and just look. And sometimes you don't even got to read the shit to figure out what's going on. Just look. How is it that we went from no wars during the most hated man time? It was not one freaking war that we had. Soon as he get out of there, we at war.
Yep.
A lot of it's just common sense, but we not, common sense is not always common.
No, people were told to hate, so they hated.
Yep.
And I'm people breaking up their families just because they on one side or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So this is my whole thing of us understanding and knowing something. Like, we just gotta pay attention. to what's going on. Yes, change hurts. Change sometimes it hurts. So yes, you finna go through some growing pains in a different stage of hurt right now, and it's gonna be okay. You finna go through it, and we need it. We gotta have it. The American people have gained 50 pounds since 2020, 2019. So we can put 50 pounds on everybody. And for some, that's very true.
I can't let you put 50 pounds on me.
I said for some, it's very true. But my point is, if you look at America in the whole entirety, and we had to shed the weight to based upon what's been gained, we got enough to give 50 pounds to everybody. Why? Because you've been sitting your ass at home doing nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So this is my whole point to everything that we got going on. Like, we have to be observant. We have to be aware. I tell my daughter all the time. I come pick her up, and she don't even know what the day, what day do I come pick you up? Like, she just living in so carefree, and I'm like, look, you got to be observative of some things. And we do. We sitting in this place carefree, like shit ain't going down, and it is. And some of y'all are not aware of anything. Y'all still taking the media as if it's like, oh my God, it's already been proven that they lie. It's already been proven about the Mockingbird Project. That's been proven. We know it's an agenda. We know it. It's been proven. We don't have to deny it. Right?
Well,
so now let's take a look at all the major changes that has happened since this individual first got into office, and I'm talking about major changes. Number one, this is the first and only dude that wasn't even like coming into. See what I'm saying? By any former president, not liked by any of them, not one. Why? Got to ask yourself that. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to get on talking about it too much, but I'm just saying, like, it's happening, it's transpiring, and it's good for us to know. It's good for us to read and to understand. And then it's like people are so dumb. They like, why is he pushing vaccines? I said, bro, do you not remember when he was here? Y'all tried to call him crazy about the UV light and the what was the other shit? The chlor or something? What they call it? Chloroquine or something?
Chlorophyll, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. They was saying. They said use like y'all called him dumb for that. And he went and took one. It was so crazy because he was like, he popped up and said, I got it. And then everybody was like, aha, you got it. Trying to be smart. Then he was like, yeah, this the medicine I'm going to use. And then he used the same medicine he was talking about. Then boom, what? He was healed, right? And then guess what? That shit went skyrocketed on the stock market. People got paid. People bought that medicine, etc. Like the genius move, whether he had it or not. We don't know, but the truth is, he played you. If he did, regardless, but it worked. And it actually did cure people. So I'm just saying, man. And what made it so bad, they tried to make the sister look like she was batshit crazy, right? She was actually a doctor, correct? A real live doctor. Now, here we go. We got somebody we call Bill Gates a freaking doctor. Dr. Fauci. Neither one of these dudes are doctors. They have nothing. No resume, no nothing in relations to any of the shit they doing. They just got freaking money. How is it that this dude gets to go and talk about vaccines all because he got money? But when we got this whole DEI situation, now we got to hire somebody like Dr. Fauci on here who don't know shit about shit. But he can be hired under the DEI. Did y'all know that? Come on. Y'all forgot. I got quiet.
I
Didn't
remember.
I feel like this man got every right to double check anything that goes out of here.
You stupid if you don't.
Because Biden, it was under the Biden administration, all these grants and stuff that got approved, it was under Biden. So yeah, he want to double check to make sure they ain't try to play him. Because at the end of his term, it's going to get blamed on him.
Well, any CEO that steps into a new position, you should audit the whole entire company. If you don't, that just means you gonna fail. Does it not?
Right.
How do you not audit everything to know everything? You need a report from every department to know what's what fully.
Was that real about the $50 million for some condoms?
Yes, bro. Yes, this shit is real. That's why I'm telling y'all, it's so much money going to places that don't mean nothing for nothing. And then people get mad because it's getting checked. Like, come on, like why is the people of the United States paying for security for Dr. Fauci? Where the freak is our security at? We're being targeted too down here. What the hell? Where's our security?
Trying to hem us up.
Are y'all not paying attention? And nobody has shit to say about that. You just found out that a guy who's not even really a doctor, according to what you're supposed to say, according to degrees, etc., and none of that. And now here he is getting security because he got international crimes. Somebody said the white coat criminal. Protecting the war criminal. That they are for real. And y'all not paying attention to nobody cares. Where is the outcry for? I don't even want to outcry. Like, damn that. Everybody's so ready to pick up guns for the most nothing ass shit, but here we are with some real shit right here in front of us. And it's like we ain't picked up a picket stick or nothing to march and say a damn thing about nothing. How do you feel that the fact that they promoted this to you all the time and now they're being sued for what they put in you? I seen a mesothelioma commercial today. I said, that's terrible that I'm still seeing a commercial that I used to see when I was 12, 13 years old. That's insane. Why is this commercial still out about mesothelioma? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Y'all don't think about that when y'all see that commercial?
And also how people blame Trump for COVID getting the way that it did. And how could you blame him?
They still getting a bag out that mesothelioma commercial, man. That's why.
Trying to blame somebody for everybody being nasty is crazy. And then the main people who blame it are nasty as shit they self. We talked about this one day. If y'all we talked about this one day. And I'm telling you, people nasty. I ain't got nothing to do with your nasty. Trump ain't got nothing to do with your nasty. You nasty, you nasty. So, okay, so it's Trump fault that you sent your kids to school to sneeze on every damn body, the digging boogers, shaking hands, and all this shit. Like, that's Trump fault too? Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
It's Trump
according
fault
to
that
them,
somebody
yeah.
walked in them. It's Trump fault that somebody walked in there smelling like last week garbage. But I'm saying really got access to water, soap, etc. But they walked in here smelling like, I don't know, man, burnt coal or something.
Open ass.
That's nasty. But still, that's what I'm saying. How can you blame somebody for people being nasty? You can't. my thing is this. What I got to see was your faith. I got to see the people's faith there. I watched churches shut down because they said God's air wasn't good enough. I'm Y'all, it's been a great night with y'all. Man, y'all ready to party tomorrow? Y'all better get you. I'm gonna have my champagne. Hope y'all got y'all some.
Are you gonna be a DJ tomorrow on your solo return?
Man, we gonna kick it. I'm DJing for sure.
Okay.
Why you say that? You finna get your dancing
This
shoes?
Jerry from Chirac. I kind of like your music when you be DJing. When you DJ, you're a pretty good DJ.
I'm alright, man. I just got I like good music. I like good music, man.
Did you know that CV-19 was the seventh genocide? Let me ask you this: which was the sixth one? Do you know what the sixth genocide was and what year it was?
I don't know. Tell
That
me.
was the seventh. The sixth genocide was the swine flu in 1976.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
then the fifth genocide was HIV. They put that in the vaccine. So that was the fifth. So that was the seventh genocide they did with COVID. Anyway,
all I'm gonna say is this, man. Well, every time I hear about the Tuskegee experiment, bro, and I'm like, even a dog. If you hurt a dog so bad to a point, I don't care how long you've been on it, he's not coming back to you. To where it's death involved. Like, man, do y'all, man, the Tuskegee experiment, just let that marinate on your mind for a minute. Purposely done. Matter of fact, the CIA bringing drugs, guns, leaving them in communities, cycling, recycling these things, constantly taking drug money. If you watch the movie, the show, damn, what's the? I just had the thought of it too, man. I forgot. I can't even remember the name of it.
Snowfall.
Who? No, it ain't
Snowfall.
It ain't
No,
it ain't
Snowfall.
No, not Snowfall. It's the one where it's this white family with the cartel. They got involved with the cartel. It was a dude who knew how to like money laundry and stuff like that. What's the name of that damn?
Ozark.
Oh, yeah, Ozark. The show Ozark.
Yep.
Okay, so the little boy in class said that if it wasn't for drugs and the drug dealers in 2008, that during the recession time, that we would have freaking suffered. Think about that. Drug dealers saved America. Think about it. The money that the CIA put out and to use is what saved America through its crisis and the economic crisis that it went through. Drug money. Now you think about that.
Now you see how crazy that sounded, but it's true. That's how Trump be talking. That's how Trump be talking.
Yeah, he be talking just exactly like that, don't he? Right? And he'll tell it like just like that. And people will look at it like he crazy. Like, nah, that really happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still kids today that still talk about, these tractor trailers and stuff like that just being sitting there in the middle of the hood. Bust it open, get guns out, whatever. Man, it's crazy. So when you ask how we been at war, man, we always at war. But I think the war that we outside of us is the war that we're at within ourselves. That's how I see it. I think everything is a reflection of what's going on within us as a people. Because a lot of this stuff couldn't exist if we weren't at war with ourselves. And that's a fact. So I'm gonna see you guys. We're gonna end off on this note, man. And I'm just about done with y'all chat GPT prompt thing. So we will be having that class soon as well. But tomorrow, though, I'm telling y'all, if you miss out,
And we'll be using that link that's there. We ain't gonna have it. It's not the class link, it's the link on the flyer, right?
It's on the flyer. So we're gonna be in here. If you can't make it on the flyer, then you can make sure you make it on the social media platforms. We're gonna be here at 6. We're gonna party up to about right now. So we got about 2 hours and a half to kick it. Good music, talk some good talk, and just go over a few things. I'm gonna share some exclusive information that you are only hear in some of these conferences or something like that. So I'm gonna really share some stuff with you guys as well. And man, I just want to say, man, y'all just keep faith, man. We're not defeated. That's one thing I want to say. We're not defeated because you're here. You're willing to do something about it. And your sacrifice does not go unknown. Right? It does not go unknown. So keep going. Keep going. If it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth it. Promise you it wouldn't. Wouldn't be worth it. We wouldn't even care to do it. But the challenge, et cetera, what it's taking for us, man, just keep the faith. Their way is divide and conquer. And divide and conquer is good to an extent. But you should never let anybody divide and conquer you. Right? So let that be known to you as well. So make sure, man, because like this, what we at right now, everybody always look at this time as, oh, well, it's because Trump in office, we in a bad time. I'm like, nah, bro, we was in a bad time when y'all let these people get in office without even answering to all the crimes that they freaking committed, bro. Before then. But you let the media, the same way they used to you got to think about it. People only used to get news. So if somebody could put pressure on the news to say certain stuff, then that's all the people going to know. And that's been going on since when? You see that in all type of old movies, Westerns, etc., where they'll go to the press and they'll tell them, you can only print out this, or you better not say this, or you better not say that, or etc. They'll have journalists, like they've been doing this type of stuff. This ain't nothing new. But what happened to y'all? What happened to y'all respecting the fact that God got us and God always gonna make a way for us? That's what I want to know. What happened to that? What happened to that belief? What happened to knowing that, even in the midst of time right now, God got us? Why God can't be using Trump to open up our eyes to see stuff that's been happening to us all this time? How is it that soon as Elon Musk and all them get involved, because watch, do y'all even understand? Like, I don't think y'all know where we going, man. Y'all, I tell you what, be prepared for these next 4 years for your mind to be blown. And yes, I think that there's a way that Donald Trump will still be president again after these next 4 years. It's a way for it to happen.
Yep.
And it's probably gonna happen. But we're gonna see.
The way he did the turnover before Biden came in there, I'm pretty sure he'll do
Well,
it.
all he got to do is prove. All he got to do is prove during his term that it was affected the first time, which is what he's doing.
Yeah.
So if he can prove that his first time was affected, then it won't even count. So that's how he can get ready to be it again. So when y'all see all these people that's about to get sued or getting sued or going through some form of trials, a lot of these people are like, y'all do know a lot of these people are in trouble to face trial.
Get Mo.
I just want y'all to know. Y'all do know that. A lot of these people are about to face trial. All right. Y'all better pay attention. I'll see you guys here tomorrow, man. You better have your best on. better have your best fit on, cause I'm gonna, hey, we turning the cameras on. I want to check y'all out. We gonna be partying up here. I don't know what y'all gonna have. I'm
Happy
gonna have me
early
some good
birthday.
champagne. Get yourself together. And man, I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to go on there tonight as well. If you want to, go ahead. It's already 50% off on a lot of things on the website as well. So go and enjoy you guys selves. But make sure you're here tomorrow to win certain prizes and upcoming things to the free to get into the upcoming conferences and other things like that as well. So again, man, appreciate you guys, man. If you had to rate today's class and our work session here today, what would you rate it?
Infinity.
Man, very enlightening.
Priceless.
Always be on and over.
On point. There's no number.
Enlightening.
Priceless. Perfect.
Well, I always appreciate y'all. I always try to share the best information I can with you guys. Again, as always, appreciate y'all. And before, just in case I get too busy, etc., man, appreciate all the birthdays before at hand. I appreciate everybody. And yes, tomorrow is going to be a great and wonderful day. So y'all have a good one, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sure, you too, man.
Good night.
Peace.